Welcome back to Bleav in Softball, presented by FanDuel. I'm your host, Jenna, and however you got here today, whether you downloaded the audio version on Apple, Spotify, etc., or you're watching video on YouTube, thank you and welcome back. Subscribe and rate the show wherever you get your pods. You'll actually see we have an updated show logo across all of our digital platforms. New look, same good vibes. Let us know what you think. You can follow us on Instagram and X at Bleav in Softball. That's BLEAV. And then, yes, the merch. Click the link in our bio on either page or go to shop.bleav.com to purchase 3 different shirts covering our bases, safer out, and catch you soon. All right, let's go through today's batting order. First, we will be covering our bases. I'm going to share some call-outs. Then we'll head into the interview with Taylor Pleasance. A ton of fun to watch while she was at LSU. Now, recently announced that she's been promoted to full-time staff at her alma mater as well. So going pro as a player and as a coach at the same time, pretty cool. Excited for you to hear it. Then we'll bring it home and wrap up with some final thoughts. All right, let's go. Covering our bases. We're back with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Whether you're a diehard NFL fan or you only tune in to watch Taylor Swift's boyfriend play, football is back and ready for you, and FanDuel is there for you too. They have everything from player receiving yard props to rushing props, plus those same game parlays that let you get creative. FanDuel's SGP menu is deep and impressive, so you can really build some fun combinations around player performances and game outcomes. So football fans, check it out. You're not going to be disappointed. And Swifties, while you're waiting for Taylor's new album to drop, why not check it out too? You can get a glimpse of what it's like in the life of a fangirl. Because we Bleav in softball and we Bleav in FanDuel. And we Bleav in youth softball specifically as well. The Little League Softball World Series has wrapped up and Pennsylvania has taken home the championship. The West Suburban Little League from Johnstown, Pennsylvania has won it all, and their reaction was everything. The crowd erupted. They were crying tears of joy. It just truly felt like a World Series moment that these girls got to experience at such a young age. Just the second time ever Pennsylvania won, and the first time since 1978. So a really big deal. And even the Phillies posted congratulations on social media, and it's just cool to see the MLB support at multiple levels of our game as well. And the TV ratings continue to skyrocket. The championship game was the most watched Little League Softball World Series game ever. Average viewership was at 1.44 million. Peak viewership hit 2.98 million, almost 3 million. There was a 139% increase from last year in that 2024 champ game. And across all the games in the Little League World Series for softball, 347,000 average viewers, which is up 66% from last year as well. So really cool to see that ESPN produced record ratings at every level of the sport this year. It is just trending in the right direction, and we are so excited. And just a couple other moments that happened throughout the World Series. Remember when I mentioned that Katarina from Prague said her dream job was to play in the AUSL? Well, after that, some of the AUSL pitchers actually went out to watch and support her. She got to meet them. Really cool moment to see that connection. In case you missed it, my girl Ramona Shelburne also did a SportsCenter hit with Amanda Scarborough in North Carolina for ESPN. And then actually on the baseball side of things, the Little League Baseball World Series, it's still going on. And Australia had a girl named Monica who became the 24th girl to play in the Baseball Little League World Series and the 11th to record a hit. So cool to see that as well on the baseball side. On the pro side as well, some reminders for the AUSL All-Star Cup. We are still on break after the pro games at the Little League Softball World Series in North Carolina. They'll be back in Rosemont on August 19th. The Series 2 teams, there are 3 by the way, reminder, 12 players are competing in the World Games right now, so 3 teams for this next series. The captains for the gold team, Kayla Kowalik, orange, Sarah Willis, and then blue, Kendra Falby. The rosters are now set, and plenty sticks out when you take a look at these, but a couple of things for each one. For Kayla Kowalik's team, the gold team, her and Aaron Koffel, just some Kentucky alums together. It's always a cool thing to see. A lot of golden tickets also represented on Team Gold, which feels fitting in a lot of ways. Corby Otis, Danica Coffey, Devin Netz, Emma Lemley. I'm excited to see that team and how they come together. Now, Sarah Willis for the Orange team, I've actually noticed some Mexican Olympians from Tokyo 2020 or 2021. Taylor McQuillan, Tori Vidalis, Sydney Romero, and then just via the little sister connection with Charlize Palacios, since her older sister Sachelle did go to the Olympics with Mexico. And coaching coworkers Delaney Wiz and Vic Hayward are also reunited and working together on that team. Pretty cool. Kendra Falby on Team Blue, the rookies that went deep in the postseason this past spring, like her, are represented on this team. The National Player of the Year, Brie Ellis, the National Home Run Leader, Corey McMillan, and then, of course, World Series participant Sam Landry, Michaela Edenfield, who went to Super Regionals. That is a cool mix with key veterans like Georgina Korick, who was one of the best, if not the best, in the AUSL in the circle this regular season, and then Morgan Zirkle, who broke out with her power as a veteran as well, and plenty more. We talked about how the MLB has supported the AUSL, but also some cool moves happening within the MLB as well. So Jen Powell became the first woman to umpire in a regular season MLB game. She actually made this history on my birthday on Saturday, August 9th, so I consider that an amazing gift. She has been grinding it out in the minor leagues for years before this moment, and she actually donated the hat she wore in her debut to the National Baseball Hall of Fame, so a cool way to commemorate this as well. She umpired over at first base for her debut and then moved over to third base for the second game of that doubleheader. The next day, she wrapped up the series behind the plate, calling balls and strikes for the first time in her MLB career as well. And yes, don't forget the connection, Hofstra softball alum, so it's very cool to see one of our own representing on the MLB stage. Internationally, we talked about the World Games. They're underway now in China. The 8 teams, as a reminder, competing in women's softball: USA, Japan, Puerto Rico, Chinese Taipei, the Netherlands, Canada, Australia, and then, of course, China itself. Opening round day 1 saw the US beat the Chinese Taipei, Canada beat Puerto Rico, the Netherlands beat China, and Japan won over Australia. So I'm excited to see the rest of it play out in Chengdu, which, by the way, is also known for being the home of giant pandas. Just a fun fact as we continue watching these women. On the college side, it might be the off season, but plenty of moves are still being made, especially when it comes to rosters. One example is Steve Singleton became the new head coach at Cal after spending years on staff at Texas, and most recently helping them win their first ever natty. So plenty of more to keep track of. That's only one highlight of many that are going on right now. Check out the coaching carousel and the transfer tracker on d1softball.com to stay up to date. But someone who's also in the thick of it is today's guest. So let's head into the interview. She's a Florida Vibe pro, Team USA alum, World Games gold medalist, All-American, and 3-time SEC honoree at LSU, and the Tigers' new assistant coach, Taylor Pleasance. Taylor, thank you for joining. I'm thrilled about this.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, this is fun, and it's a very fun time, I would assume, in your life right now, going straight from being the grad assistant for the college season into your second season of pro, and then now full-time coaching moving forward at your alma mater. So what's the vibe like right now? How you doing?
I'm doing great. This is a fantastic opportunity. Things just happen to line up very well, so I'll take it where I can get it. But super excited to get the girls back on campus and get this thing rolling.
I'm excited to watch. I mean, seeing people go back to their alma mater to me is really special, because of course you want everybody to love their experience, but to love their experience as much as apparently you did, where Baton Rouge is called a few times, whether it's your college career, grad school, and now, of course, full-time coaching. Why is it that you keep answering the call?
It's kind of my answer to everything when people ask me about like LSU as a whole or just Baton Rouge. And it's like, it's the people that make the place. So being able to sit up here and work next to the people that I get to work next to, Sandra, Zach, Bryce, and Beth, of course. It's just like, why wouldn't I want to go, or why would I want to go anywhere else? Like, I have everything I want right here. I know how they operate. We have a great relationship, so everything just fits in perfectly. The culture here is fantastic, as I'm sure you've heard. But we're really just one big happy family, and the family keeps growing. Bryce actually just had his second child last week, 10 days old now. So,
Oh, that's so exciting. So safe to say then that the vibes are pleasant. Is that fair?
absolutely. Good one.
How do you like the puns with your last name? Because honestly, it was a favorite just during your career for me personally. But how do you actually like those types of jokes?
I have no preference on it. Like it doesn't bother me. I think they're funny. Sometimes it can be very clever. I was like, oh, I haven't heard that one yet.
Nice. Okay, see, that's my new goal now. Now that you say that, I'm like, all right, I gotta start
Come
thinking,
up
gotta
with the
start
new
digging
ones.
deep. Yeah. At least it's a positive pun
Yes,
for every
yeah.
time,
It
right?
could be
So that
worse.
helps. Yeah, exactly. Well, just to dig deeper as well into your experience with LSU, that's continuing, of course. It is an era, right, where we see players moving around a lot, especially since COVID, and you experienced that at the beginning of your career. But again, you decided to stay and then not only do that, but kind of extend your time as well at LSU. You said the family's growing, and it will every year, right, with every new team that comes in. But what do you think just makes you stay at the end of the day?
I think it's the balance between being pushed but still being like respected and comfortable in a certain way. So like I know what to expect from Coach Beth. I know what to expect from Bryce now. And they do it in such a way where they are themselves but are still pushing me. So like I'm comfortable but I'm uncomfortable. Like being around them and the way they go about it, they make me comfortable being uncomfortable. So I think that's a big part of it. Like why would you want to leave somewhere where people trust you, they believe in you, and they're pushing you to continue to still be better? Like it's the best of
Mm.
both worlds in that sense.
That's not an easy balance to strike either. There's an art to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously, you talk about the culture, of course. Beth been there forever, but not only having her leadership, period, but the fact that she's a woman leading this program and has been for a long time. I would imagine that there's some inspiration you can take from that. Is that fair to say?
Absolutely, especially with her three daughters that she has. Now they're all playing softball for the Mudbugs the team that she came up with, so she can make the schedule and make the games. It's just cool to see all the hats that she wears. Like she's a mom, she's a coach, she's a leader, she's a friend, all these different things, and she wears them well. So very inspirational, easy to look around and be like, okay, like I now know what I want my stuff to look like whenever I have a family and still want to be coaching or whatever that's going to end up looking like. But to be able to have it and see it every day is very inspiring.
That's one of the highest compliments you could probably pay someone, in my opinion, what you just
Yeah,
said.
absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. That's very meaningful. Why do you think you wanted to get into coaching specifically?
I kind of realized whenever I started working camps here, like as a player, I was like, wow, I kind of like this. Like, I feel like I know what I'm talking about. And to be able to still like find new things to do it every day. Like it's a sport that continuously changes. Things are always on the uphill. And just to be able to find new ways to be efficient in whatever we're trying to be more efficient at. Um, it's like a challenge. It's always a game. Like, oh, how can we do this better? This was good, but how do we make it great? Or whatever the case may be. And it's fun. Like it's still a game. I got to play it. I know the ins and outs of it. Kind of get to explore different things now on the coaching side. So that's been fun, but definitely love it.
How do you think your perspective has changed since going from that player side to realizing all that goes on the other side?
Oh, I it hit me last year. First practice out there, they're like, "Hey, did you see that? Did you see this? Did you see this?" So this is all the coaches asking me. I was like, no, I was watching her field the ball and throw it first." But it's like there's such a broader scope of things that you never think about as like when you're on the field, worried about fielding the ball. Like there's
Right.
so many moving parts to it. There's so many things that go into it that are just unseen as a player.
Mm. And it seems like the best coaches are really good at almost making the players not even realize that, right? Just so they can focus on, hey, let me field the ball and throw it to first.
Yeah, the best way is to simplify it for them, but it might make it harder on you, but you're not playing. So it's in their hands.
Yeah. Yeah. But you are still playing in general in your career, in your pro career too, right? So that must be an interesting dynamic that you have in the spring and then, of course, the summer. I have to ask you this too. We know you hit lefty, but I feel like I've seen you hitting fungo right-handed. Is that strategic?
No. So I was actually I started out as a right-handed hitter. I was a switch hitter until I was like 14. And my coach at the time was like, hey, like they don't do that in softball. You might just want to pick one. And I think your left-handed swing like looks smoother. And like that's like coaches like a left-handed power hitter. And I was like, okay, I'll do it. Like that's fine. Um, but come to find out, I can now. I've worked on it. I used to not be able to hit fungo left-handed at all. I can't golf left-handed. I've tried. That doesn't work. I golf right-handed, hit fungo. I can now hit fungo both ways. Don't really know exactly where it's going if I'm hitting it to the outfield left-handed, but right-handed, I have a lot more control.
It is different. It sounds so funny, right? Because you're like, well, I've been swinging a bat forever, especially on the
Yeah,
left side, but it is different. There's
so
a
different.
difference when you're doing that. Yeah. The golf thing resonates with me too. I am not great. My experience has been that people who played baseball or softball are either really good or struggle, and there's not a whole lot in between. I don't know if I just tell myself that to make me feel better, but I do know some people who maybe they grew up righty, but then eventually stayed lefty hitting, and then they golf righty now. And it almost like helps you separate the two, I would imagine, to
Yes.
be able to do that.
Yeah, I've heard that golf swinging a golf club messes up your swing, and I was like, well, I don't know. I don't do it the same way, so I've never
Yeah, so you're
experienced
fine.
that.
Well, if fungo were to mess up your real swing, then you're good to go when it comes to that too. If you're doing it righty, so
Yeah, not messing up anything.
yeah,
Maybe my golf
exactly.
swing.
Maybe that's the only thing,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, going from hitting grounders to trying to just make it in the green. Yeah, yeah, that's funny. That's really funny. But I know you do appreciate some defense, so you're probably like, "Hey, I want to make sure I hit some good fungo to these girls because that's something that you obviously shined and still shine in." By the way, turning the most double plays, all-time career leader, my defensive heart loves that.
I
So,
didn't even
first
know
of all,
that.
just thank you. Yes, you didn't know that. Okay, well, breaking news, you're the career all-time leader in double plays. There you go.
Wow.
How does that make you feel?
That's awesome. As you said, I love me some defense. Take pride in it. Like there's so many little things about it that can really up your game. And I didn't really figure that out until junior year after playing with Hannah Flippen, who pretty much changed my whole defensive career. I don't know if she knows this. I've said it in a few interviews. But she definitely like pointed some things out of like this could really like elevate you without changing much at all. So like finding little things like that, trying to incorporate those. Uh, I loved it. I think it's fun. Like defense is such a like a. I feel like it's more of a game than hitting. I don't know if that makes sense. Like playing defense, you're like, ooh, you get to like take your time, think about all these different scenarios, all the things that could happen. Hitting, you're like, all right, I'm hitting this one pitch that comes right here, and if it's not there, I'm not swinging. But
That's so
defense, you get
true.
to explore a little more and have a little bit more fun out there, I
I mean, I agree. You're preaching to the choir right now. But it is interesting. You just kind of had something click in my head with what you were saying, which is on the defensive side, you're thinking through all these different scenarios so you know and you're prepared pitch to pitch. And you want to be prepared on the hitting side too, but you're almost trying not to think too much as a hitter. So it is a little bit different. Yeah. 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 That is an interesting way to think about it. What do you feel like fires you up more, offense or defense?
So if there's like a good stretch of offense, I think that makes me more excited than a good stretch of defense because I feel like defense should always be on a good stretch. It's like hitting goes like this a little bit more. So whenever it is up there, I think it gets me more excited. But maybe it is that defense is more like even keel. Like you might have one bad game and drop down a little bit, but the hills and valleys are way smaller.
It's a good point. When we look at the even the stats, the percentages, we're talking 900s here
900,
for fielding
like
percentage, and then we're like
300. Yeah.
exactly trying to get that 300, 400 if we're lucky
Yeah.
situation on the hitting side. So that makes sense. What was an example of something that Hannah taught you that you've taken with you along the way?
One is like glove presentation mixed with the footwork that's involved. Like if your glove is
Hmm.
presented, then you don't have to work hard to field the ball. Your feet just have to get you to the right spot because your glove's already there. It's like that, and then the amount of steps that you take in between, why having small, choppy steps matters. It's like, wow, this is cool.
Simplifying it. Yeah.
That, yeah, name of the game.
Right, right. Maybe she's got some coaching if she decides to,
She should.
more full time. Yeah, later in the line. She's been on the show, and she's great. She's one of our favorites to watch. But I love also when, especially infielders hard over here as well, when you share that kind of knowledge and information with each other, working as that team. She's a veteran, of course, so I'm not surprised to hear that she did that with you. But what a cool thing for you to take along with everything you've learned from Beth and the rest of your experience moving forward. Just little things like that. I mean, it's a ripple effect.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like everywhere you go, especially around here lately. Like walk past Bryce's office to get to mine, and it's just a stop and let's chat about five different things in 2 minutes. And now I have my wheels are turning, and I'm like, oh, how can we do this on defense? He tells me that what he's implementing on offense, and I'm like, ooh, what if we did that same concept but on defense and all these different things? But definitely keeps
Yes.
keeps your mind fresh.
Yes, definitely. Which is one of the fun parts, like you said, one of the things you like about it, right? So that's
Yeah.
great. One thing I loved about watching you in college and still even now as a pro is your height, right? Like you're at that 6 feet and an infielder, and not everybody does that. That might not be something that people assume, like, oh yeah, if they're 6 feet, we'll put them at shortstop, right? Maybe they're thinking first base or something else. But for
Pitcher.
you, you have, yeah, pitch exactly. Use those long levers, right? But you have that cool presence in the infield, which I think is great. But what is that like? Did that affect things growing up? You having height, or how have you kind of internalized that?
Well, one, I got to grow up watching Madison Shipman at Tennessee play short, and I'm like, oh, she's like 6'1", 6'2". If she can do it, I can do it. So that was like some motivation there to help me out, just to like feel the belonging of it, because like you said, it wasn't very often that you saw that happening. Um, but two, it was difficult whenever people would be like, oh, you just have to get low and do this and like try to show me a certain way to do something. And I'm like, I'm a little bigger. I don't move like that, or how, whatever it may be. Like, oh, if you dive for this to get up to your feet and throw it, I'm like, you don't know how long it is to get down and back up. Nobody's getting thrown out. But like, you have to kind of find your own ways to do things that match like what you have, all your physical constraints.
I bet that'll help you with coaching too, just being able to recognize that, right? You had that
Yeah.
experience. You're like, I'm actually a little bit different, so I have to apply this coaching note differently.
Mhm.
And now you have that perspective in different
Yeah,
ways.
like working with Sierra Daniel, like she does so many things well defensively. I love watching her take defense. But she's not half my size, but she's a lot smaller and can do things that I could not do. Like she could go seat slide, stand up and throw the ball. I'm like, if I do that, she's already rounded first, headed to second. So different strengths is cool to see like people do things that I could have never done. I'm like, wow, that was actually really, that was sick. But it's the strengths and weaknesses. Like I wasn't gonna dive, get up, and throw someone out. I might be able to dive and stop it and keep it in the infield and throw someone out from my butt. They tried to take two bases, but that was about it.
Yeah, and you might be able to do some things that they can't do, right? Like you have a little
Mhm.
more extension, let's say, a little more
Sure.
reach.
Yeah, that is something we talked about too. Being able to like reach for a certain hop. Like some people can't get there, and the levers matter, and there's so many different physical constraints that go into it for sure.
Yeah, I'd imagine it plays a factor whether you think of it as a constraint, like, oh, I can't do this, or if it's, oh, I can do this. So let's kind of lean into the strength that I have. It's all mental. It always goes back to that, doesn't it?
Always. Oh my gosh, always. Everything. The whole sport.
Yeah, that in itself could be a multi-episode series,
Mhm.
multi seasons too, probably, if we
Yeah.
wanted to go there. Yeah. But it's also been fun. Like we're talking about the fact that your career is still happening on the playing side. That I think is so important just because, yes, I love seeing women who played be coaches and kind of pass along to the next generation, but play as long as you want to play, you know? Like I love that you're still at it. So you just played your second year with the Florida Vibe. I would ask you though, how was the experience compared to what you thought being a pro would be like?
I mean, I got to experience a little bit the year before, just not playing because I was recovering from a broken finger. Um, but like just being around it and like how much fun it is. Like you don't get paid that much. Like it's pretty much just a summer job. You get to go out and play the sport that you love to do, still at a competitive level because everyone just got out of college. Um, but I mean, it was fun. It's a great time. The people are great. Like I said about LSU, same thing there. Like the people are what make the place, and there's some pretty great people over there. So just having fun and playing. I did also get to experiment a little bit with some things that I would want to work on or implement here, especially playing first. I did play first this summer. So like finding things that I had talked to Tori about this last year and then trying them out for myself. And I was going to text her and be like, yeah, we're not playing behind the base when there's a runner at first. I don't know how you did that. We talked about it towards the end of the year. I don't know how you did it. I hated it. We can talk about it. We can find a different
Yeah.
solution because that was not fun.
Yeah. Well, see, that's why you're relatable though, because you are still doing it too. So you're like, hey, let's talk about the experience.
Yeah. Works out well.
It does. It does. And I have seen you say in the past that you started playing softball because of the adrenaline you get every time you get up to bat or when a ball is hit to you. Do you still feel that way this long down the road in your softball career?
Oh yeah, the adrenaline that runs through my body after a ball is smoked at me. I'm like, oh well, I'm awake now, thank you. But definitely still can get into the moment, get into the different situations, and it just really takes off. Like the adrenaline's
Yeah.
still there, still enjoying it, still having fun.
That's the main thing to still feel that. I've talked to a lot of different pros too, where they're like, if you don't still feel that, or if you don't feel 100% bought in, then maybe it is time to retire, right? But if you still feel that, if you still have those moments, that's everything.
Yeah.
What would young Taylor think if she could see you now, do you think?
She'd probably think, what the heck are you doing? I would have never thought growing up that I would ever be a collegiate softball coach. Like
Yeah.
ever. Like it hit me like junior, maybe senior year. I was like, oh, maybe I could do that. Like my plan was to like be a graduate assistant and then just finish my master's that way and be done. But here we are. God had other plans.
What did she think maybe you would have been instead doing?
So I got my undergrad in kinesiology and pre-athletic training. So in high school, one of my favorite classes was the athletic training class. We got to tape ankles, learn about the body, anatomy, all the things. And I was like, wow, I kind of really enjoy this. So I went that track thinking that was going to be it, but was told by our athletic trainer here that don't do it. The hours suck, the pay sucks, just don't do it. I was like, okay.
It is
Then I started
tough.
enjoying coaching, so it all worked out.
Yeah. Yeah. They are definitely the unsung heroes for sure because they
Oh my
keep us
gosh.
going, right? Playing
Yes.
but it's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they're when the athletes are feeling good, they're not going to come see you. When they're feeling bad, it's all your fault. Like it's
Right.
not a good situation to be in. It's kind of like physical therapy. Like everyone's miserable going to
Yeah.
physical therapy, but it's your job and you have to do it every day. So
Yeah. Yeah.
she does a good job of
It's
keeping it light in there, though. She's great. We love her
good.
too.
That makes all the difference, right?
Yeah. I mean, I
That's
spent plenty
awesome.
of time with her myself. So
Yeah. Well, and it's like the team within the team, right? You of course have the players, but your coaching staff and the rest of the staff, like the trainers, like other people who are a part of it, all matter. Like it's another team sort of within that larger program, essentially.
absolutely. We always talk about we don't function without our managers either.
Yeah.
Like setting up practice, in between practice, like all the different things that happen that they do behind the scenes. Like really go unnoticed, but we could not do it without them. So there's a huge support staff.
Yeah, shout out to the support staff. Seriously. We talk about the growth of the game all the time, and it's so exciting seeing it on TV and all of these things. But without people like that doing what they do, there's no way it could have gotten to that point.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's very cool, though, that not just purple and gold for you. I mean, like with the purple situation, I feel like your entire wardrobe at this point might be mostly purple, and you'd have to probably consciously make an effort to have
To throw
anything
some out.
else.
Like, okay, I have two backpacks actually sitting in my closet. I just moved into this new house that I'm gonna give to the managers and be like, y'all have at this. I have like three pairs of everything in these bags. It's all yours.
Yeah. Yeah. See, that's smart though. Keep it in the family. Love that. But
That
you've
or
worn the
Goodwill.
red. Oh, well, there you go. Yeah. See,
Yeah.
you have options here. But you've worn the red, white, and blue too. So we can mix in some other colors there, not just the purple. Being able to represent your country. I mentioned that you were a gold medalist in the World Games, Team USA at the World Games right now, actually. But what did being able to represent the USA mean to you?
That was awesome. Like those experiences that I had, I think it was three, from the 19 team to World Games team to a Japan All-Star team, whatever it might have been. Like they were the coolest experiences ever. Like to be able to play with the people that I did, like all the top ones from the different colleges around, or even alumni from colleges. Um, it was so cool. And I did not leave one of those tournaments without learning something new. So very grateful for that and the experience itself.
You said all of your siblings have played a part in serving or representing our country too. How and why is that important to you and your family?
So my oldest sister, she was a postal woman, U.S. postal woman. So she was a mail carrier. My older brother, or oldest brother, was in the army for a little bit, and then the brother that's 2 years older than me was in the Marines for a little bit. So they all played a role, and I was like, "Well, I'm not doing any of those, so I guess it's softball."
I guess we'll go this route. Pretty cool route to take. I'll give you
Yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah. I'll take it. Much easier
Yeah.
than going through all the Marine boot camps, I'm sure. I've heard some
Oh yeah.
stories about that. That's crazy.
Yeah, we complained about 6 a.m. waits, right? I think
Huh, mm-mm. I'll
nothing in
take it.
comparison.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got it easy.
Why do you think that was important for your family, though, to have that aspect in all of your lives?
I feel like it was one thing that we really connected on. Like the two older ones are, there's a 13-year difference between the brother and brother, the two middles.
Mm,
And so me and my sister are 17 years apart. So like it was the one thing that like kind of brought us back together. And then of course all the two older set, or the older set, has kids now. I have
yeah.
eight nieces and nephews. So that also brought us together. But the start of it was that, and like being able to talk about that. It was cool for them all to come out and watch. It was just like a bonding thing.
That's cool, though. Like you,
Yeah.
you are far apart in age, so you have different experiences. I can relate to that, by the way. My brother's 10 years older than me. I have a niece and a nephew, so only two, not eight. So I can't quite relate to that level. But being an aunt, isn't it the best? I think
Yes,
it's the
because once they
best.
start acting up, I'm like, all right, go back to your mom. Do you want me to call your dad? I'm gonna send you home. Perfect. Angels the rest of the time.
100%. And I always say too, because grandparents, right? Like they paid their dues. They raised their kids, so then they kind of get the love and benefits from their grandkids. But for us, we didn't really do anything. We just get all the benefits.
For the fun
Let's all
ants,
take
we
it.
get to just go hang out, make it a good time.
Exactly.
Never mad at
Exactly.
you.
No, no, you're always the cool
Hey,
one.
mom, can you take this away from her? I gotta be the good guy.
Exactly. Exactly. Have you gotten any of them into softball or baseball?
No. The oldest one plays basketball.
Cool.
Well, the oldest one from my sister plays basketball. She's a sophomore in high school now. The second one in that family also plays basketball. And then the third wants to do like gymnastics or dance or something. She's very, very musical oriented. She just likes to have a good time. But I think she's getting into tennis, if I remember correctly. Um,
Nice.
and then the young one, he's a boy. He's how old is he? A year. He's 1 year old. So he'll probably end up playing baseball or something.
Yeah.
He loves balls. Anything that like the first thing he wants to do, we're walking through the house, oh ball, goes gets it, does something with it. And I'm like, oh perfect. Let's put it on a tee.
It's a great sign. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I just love to hear that they're in sports. That's great.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. What else can you
And you
do?
said
Like,
yeah, I mean, well, I'm more biased, of course, but I still love to see it. But you said the other ones too?
the other ones do jujitsu and ROTC. So
That's
jujitsu,
awesome.
I want to say she's 7, and then the little boy is 4 or 5, I think. They love it. They're really good at it too. Like they've been put into these tournaments now, and now they're winning medals and stuff. And I'm like, whoa, let me not mess with you now.
Right?
Those are the ones where I'm like, really, no, no, no. You can tell them what to do. I'm not. Put me in a chokehold.
Yeah, I feel that. So my niece, she just turned 18 actually. But she's been doing jujitsu throughout her life. And so I have gone to a couple of her tournaments too. And she's a little more like laid back, shy, but then all of a
Uh
sudden I
huh.
see her doing this and I'm like,
And
good
then
for
she gets on
you.
there. Yes, that's
Yeah.
exactly how they are too.
Yeah. It's great. But that's why sports of any kind are awesome
Oh,
for kids to
absolutely.
get
Yeah.
into. Yeah. And you played volleyball. It wasn't just softball that you were playing when you were a kid. Do you think that helped develop you into more of an athlete than if you had just played softball?
Absolutely. Growing up, I always said that, like playing the different sports, I got something out of each one. So, like, I played basketball in middle school, so like endurance, then volleyball, so like explosiveness, explosive movements,
Yeah.
and then softball, which is what I ended up doing. So, I was like, all of these kind of like tie into one, and they make me a better athlete. So, I do
Yeah.
think that did help. I did love volleyball. So much. It was my favorite sport. I thought it was so fun. It went so quick. As soon as you messed up, you get another chance. You don't have to wait 2 innings to go hit again.
True.
Yeah. But I almost convinced Beth, well, I think I did, to be a dual sport athlete here and play volleyball and softball. But found out I had really bad knees and
Mm,
arthritis when I got here. So thank you, Mom, for that.
yeah.
But besides that, I would have done it, and oh, I wish I could have. That would have been great.
Respect for convincing her. I just that alone, I'm impressed, honestly.
I don't know if she was actually convinced or if she knew I wasn't going to do it, but I want to say at one point she said, "Yeah, let's go for it." Because at the time, Constance Quinn played basketball and softball, and those seasons did
Mm,
overlap. So I was like,
yeah.
"Hey, these don't
Yeah.
even overlap, so I can do it, right?"
These are all great points. I see how you did it.
Uh huh. Right?
I think though, as a broadcaster, volleyball, specifically women's volleyball, probably my favorite sport to cover outside of softball and baseball. It's super exciting. I feel like I see some parallels between the two just in terms of the growth of both of these sports. And especially seeing them on TV, etc. So that what could have been, but I'm glad that we had you on softball side.
It's okay. We'll take it.
Yeah. What do you think made you ultimately go more down the softball route, other than your knees?
I think at the time I was just already more developed in it. Like I knew more about it. At that time, recruiting happened way earlier, so I was already getting looks from colleges in 8th grade. So I was like, I in 8th grade, I want to say I started in fifth. So like I didn't have much time there to get much better. So or maybe it was six actually. I don't know. But what did not have much time, much background in volleyball, just enjoyed it and was decent at it. And was like, okay, I'll just keep doing it for fun. But yeah,
Yeah. And you still played in high school, right?
I did. Yes, I enjoyed it so much. Best sport, we'll say. I try to
That's bold
convince
to say.
everyone. I know. I loved volleyball more at the time. Now I think I would say softball, but it was just always like a good like getaway moment, get to refresh, not be in softball. Although we did still have fall ball in high school. Like I'd go from volleyball practice to softball tournament on the weekends, whatever it might be. But
Right.
it was a lot. It was a good break from softball though. So I think that also might have helped keep me going.
Yeah. And I think we've learned more about that too in terms of our bodies, meaning like, if you specialize too early, you could have overuse and different injuries and things, but if you play other sports, it's a great way to you said you learn different things from each sport. So it's a great way to do that and incorporate skills and then still kind of stay in shape, but get your body to move in a different way.
Yeah, absolutely. Get to stay in a different type of shape.
Yeah, yeah. There are different shapes. I remember in college, our coach would talk about being in ground ball shape to us infielders. And at first, I think I was like, okay, yeah, whatever. I don't really know what that means. And then I found out what it meant at practice, right? Like it is different than just being in general shape to take ground ball after ground ball.
We even say that as coaches. Like we're not in season shape right now, or
Yeah,
recruiting shape, or any of it.
yeah, that's exactly right.
Well, I'm sure they're in recruiting shape now after the summer. So
Yeah, true, true, very true. What do you think you're looking forward to the most now in full-time coaching? You've been coaching, of course, but now it's the main focus until, your next pro season.
I'd say making things more of my own. Like last year, like
Mm.
Beth kind of gave me the defense, like for like a good chunk. And I was like, okay, like, but I was still like kind of nervous and timid about like making it my own. But I would still like ask questions. Hey, what do you want this? Do you want this? Like, and not really coming up with my own ideas, but like being able to have the conversations with all of them and like come up with some things. And I'm like, oh, this is kind of fun. Like, I like this. We like this was my own. But I would say that, like being able to make it more my own.
Mm. Taking that ownership, that makes a lot of sense. There's a pride that comes with that too.
Yeah. I mean, the more confident you are in it, the better you can explain it, the better it can be like it can happen on its own. So I think that also plays a part.
Yeah, definitely. And we talk all the time. Every player, wants to leave the game better than they found it, whether that's as a player, as a coach, whatever avenue they take. Maybe it's multiple avenues. But for you, I feel like your legacy is still being written, which is pretty cool. What do you hope that you leave? What do you try to build every day as a player and a coach?
So playing my why was always to just be joyful and say that someone's having a really bad day and they come to a game and they just see a smile on my face and it brightens their day. Like that was always my goal was to just like be a joyful face that people can come to like smile, like just come smile, have a good time. Um, so I'd say that, like continuing that, and especially as a coach, like I know how it feels to be out there on the field and make 4 errors in one inning. Did that my first ball game freshman year. Um, but like being able to turn it to still be like a joyful experience rather than looking at it as something that's so horrible.
Mm, easier said than done.
Yes.
What
Went through
what
it all.
helps you
Yeah.
hold on to that? Yeah, it was yeah, right. We've all been through a lot, and I think it's important for everyone to remember that. People see what you've done on the field, and they're like, "Oh, it must have been maybe they think it must have been so easy for her," but everybody has their struggles. So what do you think helps you hold on to the joy?
Well, one, I would like I my goal also is to like be a reflection of God's light. So like that is always like never changing in me. Like that's pretty much what keeps me going, but also like to hear the stories of how other people's lives are impacted by something I said or did or took a picture with someone, whatever it might be. Um, like that's what keeps me going. So my screensaver for a very long time, what her name was Aubrey Jimenez. She was I want to say 12-year-old at the time. She had a terminal cancer and came to watch me play and told me that I was her favorite player, blah 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 after the game. well, first of all, I went 0 for 4 that game. And every time I walked back into the dugout, she was sitting right there with a big old smile on her face. She did not care. So that was like a mind-changing moment of like it doesn't matter what the results are. Like there's still people that like get their joy from watching you do whatever you do. Like she smiled after I struck out. She did not care. So like it was a cool moment, and it kind of changed like the whole course of how I think about um, joy and even the game itself. Is to just like put all the results aside. Like yes, you want to do the best you can do, but it can only go so far. Like you can only be so great. So like still in those moments of not so good performance or not so good coaching performance, whatever it may be now, still be able to be that joy for people.
That's very powerful. Very powerful. I'm excited to see you continue to spread joy as a player and as a coach. And I'm so thankful that we were able to have this conversation and get to know you. It's one of my favorite things about doing this. Obviously, I love bringing attention to the sport and the people in it, but just getting to know the individual stories is some of the best parts, in my opinion. So I appreciate you sharing yours.
Of course, of course. What else is it for? Can't keep it to myself.
Yeah, that's right. You're spreading the joy. That's the whole point. It's not
Yeah.
just, yeah, that's exactly right. Well, before I let you go, I do play a game with everyone who comes on the show.
Okay.
It's called Safer Out. And basically, I'll bring up a topic, and if you like it or you agree with it, you call it safe. If not, then you'll call it out. Make sense?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. All right, cool. So the first one is not wearing a visor on defense out in the field.
Ow. Oh,
I'm with you. It feels incomplete.
it's so weird.
Yeah.
I would never go on a field, not even at practice, without a visor. So out, out.
Yeah.
Double play out.
Well, you do lead in those for the program, so just saying. Also at night, though, wearing a visor.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
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 Always.
It feels like it's part of the uniform. I mean, baseball, they wear
It
hats
is.
all
Yes,
the time,
exactly.
right? Yeah. Yeah. All right. I had a feeling you were a visor girl. So, all right. That was the first one. Second one is the transfer portal, safer out.
Ooh. Have to go to review on that. It has its ups and downs. Like we utilized it this past year, so I'm gonna go safe because we got some big people that will really help us out this year in it. So safe.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's good to recognize because you didn't utilize it, right, as a player, but to see it from new perspectives like coaching and different things, it's good perspective to have. Yeah. Yeah. All right. The last one is bat flips, safer out.
Depends on the moment, but I'm gonna go safe because I've done it a few times.
Yeah. Okay, you've done it a few times. Was it pre-planned? Was it just like emotion in the moment?
Straight emotion.
Yeah.
Like the one against Texas A&M, I don't even know what I did. I like flipped at least 20 times before it hit the ground. I would have never planned that. I would have hated someone that did it, but it was in the extras and it was a long game and it was against a top ranked opponent and it just came out and I was like, oh gosh. And it was against Emily Kennedy, which I knew and I had played with in travel ball. So I texted her after the game and said, I am so sorry. I did not mean to do that. It was just in the spur of the moment. I'm so sorry. But she's great. She's fine. I'm sure she doesn't even remember it. So
yeah,
she's had a great career.
Like you said, though, when it's emotion in the moment, that authentic piece of it makes a difference. Yeah.
Yeah, like it was towards the team. It wasn't at them. I think that might be a little difference maker too. Like it was a bat flip and like looking at my team. Like I don't care who's on the mound. Like we did this as a team. So it was more of like, heck yeah, let's go than it was a haha, that's what you get. So
right. That is actually a big specific thing that people bring up when I've asked them this before on the show. They'll be like, Well, if you're celebrating with your teammates, I think that's different than taunting the other team. That's one of the first things that a lot of people bring up. So that's a great call.
Safe.
Yeah. All right. I'll take that. That's awesome. Well, thank
Those
you
are
again,
good.
Taylor, for doing this.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Well, I
Thanks
put you
for
on the
having me.
spot a little bit, you know?
That's fine.
You're used
We
to
love
that,
it,
though.
everyone. Yeah.
But thank you again for joining. This has been super fun. Congratulations on
Thank you.
your full-time role. I won't say new role because obviously you've been a part of the LSU softball family for a long time, but your new official full-time role, and can't wait to see everything you do as a coach and as a player from here.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
It was awesome getting a chance to talk with Taylor. I mean, she obviously bleeds purple and gold, and now she's paying it forward in Baton Rouge too, which is pretty cool. It's cool to hear about it. It's cool to hear about how she's going pro and continuing that career. And then it's also just cool to hear from someone who loves our game. So with that, let's bring it home. You've been listening to Bleav in Softball, part of Bleav Network, presented by FanDuel. The show is available anywhere you get your podcasts, wherever you listen, including Bleav.com and YouTube too. Subscribe to the show, rate the show, and if you liked it, write a review. Follow us on X and Instagram at Bleav in Softball. Again, that's BLEAV. You can reach out to me personally on X at Jenna Becerra01 and Instagram at Jenna Becerra as well. As always, thank you for tuning in and catch you soon.